What up, y'all? We big chilling at my homie Valerie's event. You guys already know, kicking it with the HBHS crew, my mentor Preston. We're doing big things out here in El Paso, man. If you're not here for this event, man, Valerie, you gotta follow her on Facebook. She's gonna be throwing plenty of these throughout the year. And I'll see you guys here at some of them, all right? Love y'all.
You see the leaves fall off, you thought the family tree would die, but these roots run deep below ground zero, that's my life. This never dies. No one knows how this all started, they just see us flex online. You play chess, we built the chessboard, every move you make is mine. And I know that's how I do.
I'm kidding. I always wanted to say that because I know I'm not passing.
What's up, y'all? My name is Quentin Flores. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I used to say that I was a real estate investor from San Antonio, Texas. But real estate is one of the things that I do. I love real estate investing. It actually opened up the doors for a lot of things. I started out, like some of you guys here, wholesaling. And I learned a lot about wholesaling real estate. So I'm the founder of Wholesaling Houses Ground Zero. I also own a virtual assistant company in the Philippines called Virtual Squad. You can check us out on virtualsquadhub.com. And man, I run a mastermind group called Surface. My partner and I, we flip houses, we portfolio, we rental, we do a little bit of creative things as well. You know, we got a lot of people in the building, and some guys that I highly respect, like my homies over there from Home Buying, Home Selling. We got Preston Brown, that's our mentor, if you guys know them. But huge shout out to Valerie for throwing this badass fucking event and bringing together all of these people. You know, who here's from out of town? Like, who here's not from El Paso? You know what's crazy? I fucking can't stand this shit. Only in Texas do you have to take 2 planes to get somewhere that's still in fucking Texas. Like, come on, right? You know what? But that's how much we love Val. That's how much we support what she's doing. You know, is that we'll take 2 planes to get over here, man. So I want to talk to you guys about something that's going to benefit y'all in your real estate business, right? Some of y'all know me from my YouTube channel. Some of you guys know me from just what I do on my Facebook or on Instagram. But I go by Real Estate Monster on Instagram. Again, guys, wholesaling is a lot of fun. You can do so many different things. And to me, it's an entrance strategy. What a lot of people don't know how to do is they don't know how to find houses. That's the prime thing here. If you want to get good at this business, marketing, promotion is part of the process. You got to be able to promote your business. But who is your seller? Who's the person that's actually trying to sell their property? My buddy told me this one time. His name's Tyler Rossi. He's out in Florida. He said, Q, you got to create what's called a seller avatar. Who's your seller? Who's somebody that would actually sell their property at a discounted price? Because once you're able to do that, the rest of it's easy. Remember, guys, this part of the business is just an entrance strategy. But you got to be able to find people that are going through legitimate problems, right? Legitimate situations, creating legitimate problems where you can maximize those situations by getting the properties and helping the families at the best actual price. If you get the deal, you bring the investor. If you get a good fucking deal, my buddy Preston has a company called Intrust. They'll lend you 100% financing on that bitch, dude. You see what I'm saying? If you find the deal, then everything else comes through full circle. But you just gotta get good at finding houses. So guys, I'm gonna talk to you guys about how you do this. Step 1 is pulling what you call the foundation leads. Now, some of you may not know this, but there's multiple places online where you can pull lists of houses. The first 3 lists that you guys can check out, if you want to go ahead to the next slide. This is the count. You see, this is going to be the giant chunk of your data. Most people that I know of, they spend about $5, $10, maybe $20,000 purchasing this amount of data. And I don't want you to spend that amount of money. I want you to save money. There's a platform that I use. It's called PropStream. And a lot of people don't know this, but you can upgrade your subscription with this platform, and it's going to allow you to pull anywhere between 100,000 to 200,000 records a month for literally like less than $600, which is good. Anybody who's in this business must understand this small concept. Data is fucking king. If you can figure out the patterns, bro, you can do so many different things. I know some guys here that have some fine-ass ladies with them, right? They had to figure out the pattern to that fucking beautiful thing, right? Because you gotta push it together, bro. You gotta push it together. Energy's real. So in data, it's no different. In real estate, I'm trying to find and create the avatar to the individual who's trying to sell me their property. Free and clear means they own their house fully outright. Unknown equity means they have no idea how much, well, we have no idea how much they owe on that bitch, but they still got a mortgage. The next one is high equity, meaning that they almost paid it off, and then low equity, which means that they still owe a little bit, or they still like owe pretty much the whole amount on that property. They're not considered leads. These are prospects, right? And I'm identifying who these prospects are based on the foundation data. Go ahead and scroll down for me, guys. Now, step 2 is organizing that data. Scroll down again. We upload all of our data to a platform called REI Sift. You don't have to use it, but I highly recommend that you guys study this platform right here. Whenever we pull leads, we know that we have to refresh those leads again, right? So in this business, your ability to be able to keep up with the data hygiene that you have in your business is what's gonna help you out with finding deals. Because information updates all the fucking time. People sell their properties. People refinance their shit. Death happens. Divorces happen. All of these things are patterns that happen all the time, right? So this right here is how we do it. When we pull our list, we tag them. We use the 4 W's. The time that we tag them, the date that we pulled that data, where we pulled that data. We indicate the time frame, meaning how long has this data been around? How old is it? Then, at that point, we know what we need to skip trace, and we figure out what program that we're going to use. So I own a data company, guys. It's called DataFleet, datafleet.com. And for anybody that's in here, if you use promo code SURFACE, you get 30% off. I'll bring your skip tracing down to about 10 cents a record, which is pretty fucking competitive because most people charge 15 to 17. So, with that being said, you can figure out what platform you want to use to skip trace your records. The thing about data, guys, is that when it comes to data, there's multiple different types of data providers out there. And this is from an actual person who is in the data space. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to be in the data space. But you learn a lot about data, like where it comes from, right? A lot of the data that we pull comes from phone providers. Like all of you ladies right here that have your phone like hooked up that are recording me. Did you know that when you signed up for a contract with that phone, you gave away your information and your agreement to buy that phone? You literally give away public information. You also agree to the ability that those phone companies can resell your phone number, your home address, your email address, and everything that's attached to you. So we pull contracts from those individuals, Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, and we package that data up and we resell it. And if you own a piece of real estate, I'll know because you put your address on your phone number. See what I'm saying? That's why when you fill out contracts, it's crazy. So in skip tracing, depending on where your tower is, AKA your phone provider and the most recent tower and the place that you did it, most of these companies I'm talking to you guys about have been franchised. Like Verizon, Sprint, each of them have their own stores. They operate in a different type of way. So depending on your contract will determine the quality of your skip tracing. Some people use one skip tracing service and they're like, oh fuck man, this shit was trash, bro, I couldn't get a hold of anybody. But you only use one. You need to use 3 to 4 different services to find the one that's best for you. And don't go blowing through 1,000 leads trying to figure that shit out. I know a lot of people that'll pull the amount of data that I just showed you guys how to pull. And what are going to happen? They just literally unloaded 10, 15, 20 grand on skip tracing and they weren't able to find any leads. That's not how you do it. You see, you take 1,000 leads and you run it through skip tracing. You cold call them and then you gauge the quality of your data. And if it's not good, then you test it again. You test, you test, you test, you test. Each time, tracking the quality of the shit that you're doing. Please move on to the next one. So that's how we organize. Step 3 is very simple. We stack the foundation data against motivation indicator lists. So those big dick lists that I just showed y'all right there, those giant fucking pieces of data that's like 100, 200K records, once you have all of that, you own the fucking data in your area, wherever you're at. Now this right here, the foundation data, that's the beginning. That's the free and clear, the high equity, low equity, unknown equity, right? The next level is figuring out what is a real reason that someone would want to sell. What's a real reason? Can one of you guys tell me why would somebody want to sell their house at a discount? What do you think?
Job loss. Divorce.
Job loss? Divorce? Michelle, what do you got? Moving? Yeah, that's a good one. Downsizing maybe?
Yeah.
You see, what's amazing about data, guys, is that it tells a story. It tells a story. You know, one time my mentor told me this, and he asked us about our process. And I'll never forget it. This is Preston. And he's like, Q, if a guy were to walk into your business right now and offer you like 15 to 20 million to buy your company, would you be able to show him how it works, how it runs from A to Z? And I remember I was like, fuck no, bro, I'd lose out on 20 million real quick because I didn't have any systems, right? And so when you're doing this, you're creating patterns. Patterns. Let me give you an example. One of my favorite lists to go after, and this is a pattern. I'm gonna show you guys this because it's gonna trip y'all the fuck out. I like going after properties where the homeowner is on a disabled exemption. If you're in Texas, if you have a disability and that's in your tax exemption, you get a nice little decrease in the amount of taxes that you pay. Did you guys know that? But also shows me that you're disabled. And then I look for the criteria, I start breaking it down. I want someone who has a big house, someone who has about 2,000 square feet, that's also disabled, that lives in a 2-story home. Why is that? If someone's disabled, why the fuck would they live in a 2-story home, right? Now, how am I gonna even identify this even further? Did you guys know that you could pull a list of individuals that are over the age of 65 that have filed for seniority? So not only are you a senior, not only do you live in a 2-story house, but you're also disabled. Using PropStream, I can even find out if you have 2 mortgages against your house and you live in one of those properties. What would that mean if it had 2 mortgages? They still are 65, they're disabled, they live in a 2-story home, they still owe money on that property, they pulled a second loan against that house. Why do people pull second loans? Most of the time because they're going through a money deficit. So what I just created for you guys was a pattern. That's a prime reason that someone would want to sell their house. And I don't care how much equity that they got. My buddies at HBHS over there, they're gonna show you how you can buy one of those types of houses using absolutely no money, creative finance. The low equity leads, we go after those all the time. Now my buddy Mike and Charles are gonna run this stage up here in a minute. My buddy Corey Greer too. Preston, everybody, man, we got hitters here. Move on to the next one, please. Now what are the reasons that someone would wanna sell? Number one, I gotta rush this, guys, so I'm so sorry, but we're on a time limit. I got like less than 20 minutes. So tax delinquency, pre-foreclosure, vacant, probate, senior, water and electricity, shutdown, fire damage. You see, the list that I just told you guys about, that stuff you can pull from the internet. But these ones right here come directly from your county. What is the name of this county that we're in? What is this, El Paso County? I want you guys to check this out. Go to El Paso County and type this into Google, El Paso County, open records request. If you go there, you can literally, from the city, get a list of properties that are vacant, properties that are in pre-foreclosure. You can get a list of all registered seniors in your area. You can get a list of people that don't have water or electricity. See what I'm saying? Those are the real reasons that someone will want to sell. Why did I pull the foundation data? Because the amount of equity that they have in their house is going to tell a story if I stack this data against it. So after stacking the records against each other, the list should be reduced from about 200,000 records to like 2K to 3,000 records. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm no longer going after just one list. I'm going after one property on 123 Main Street that's going through vacancy, that's probate, that the owner's 65, so they're probably dead. On top of that, the water's been shut off and the electricity hasn't been in that house in over 3 weeks, 3 months, whatever. I created a pattern via stacking data. You see, a lot of people are taught by these big-time gurus that you buy a high equity list and you run that bitch through a dialer or some type of skip tracing platform and you burn through it and you pray to God that you get a fucking deal. Now, does that work? It does, sometimes, but you're gonna burn yourself out. You see, when you do it this way, essentially what you're doing is you're breaking down your data to create high probability, high converting leads. I'd rather go all in, spending more money on 3,000 leads than 100,000 leads. You know why? Because you'll drive your overhead to the ground while increasing your profit margins. You see, in this business, guys, it's all about increasing profit. I used to think that the word scaling meant, and my business partner can attest to this, I almost drove our company into the ground. I hired 23 people to work on my office. We had too many people. We were closing 15 to 20 deals a month. But it wasn't working out because we only had 23 people, right? So that means people aren't making money. It created internal controversy in our company, which was allowing for bleeding, too much overhead. And our overhead was too high. I thought that that's what you had to do because that's what I was taught. You hire a bunch of people, you open up a big fucking office, and then you get a bunch of computers, and you're running that bitch through the fucking ground, right? That's what I thought. And it may have worked at a certain time frame, but right now, guys, this is the way that you find real leads for your business. Actual leads that are gonna yield you the highest profits. Because when you find situations like this, you know, it's hard to keep up with someone like Val. Val has a massive budget. She has a huge team. She'll burn through your list faster than you ever will as a solo entrepreneur. So what do you gotta do to double down on this? You focus on the process, you stack your leads together, you bring your account down as far as you can. I'm looking for one house that's going through multiple situations, and I'm creating patterns. Remember I told you guys it's about like figuring out your woman and shit? It's the same thing. It's the same thing, except obviously you can't put your dick in data. So go down, scroll down please. So guys, you can pull this data from PropStream. I'll go ahead and I'll throw you guys a link if y'all just want to hit me up. I got you guys on something with this, a cool little discount. Scroll down please. I'm going to show you guys how you can create one of those indicators here. This is a sample filter that I use in my list pulling that I do for PropStream. So building size, I like this. Lot size, this pretty straightforward. Year build, that's what I like. Years of ownership between 10 to 30. Owner type, individual, status, disabled. I always build off of this one first. This is my favorite because disability is a big thing. And a lot of times, guys, you'll never know what someone's situation is until you actually reach out to them. And that's the crazy part about data. It's about finding patterns. Scroll down, please. I got you. I got you. Next one is REI Sift. Anybody who's wanting a little bit more information on this platform, I'd love to talk to you about it. My friend Tyler Austin has a program called the Auto Lead Gen Challenge, which will teach you a lot about the records that you pull and your data and how you can manage it correctly. I have to give this man credit. Everything that I'm telling you guys about today, I learned from this guy, and I just broke it down in my own way because I think I'm better at teaching. I'm kidding. I love him. But like I said, scrolling down to the next one. Upload the data, write down activate tags. That's all pretty straightforward. I went over that. Keep going. Is that the end? Keep going. Is it stuck? High probability, guys, that comes up with a strong prospect that you can work with. That's what this business is all about. It's not about marketing and blanket marketing to a crap ton of fucking data because you'll burn yourself out. If you do that, I promise you, you will not get the type of return that you want. Especially if you're doing this by yourself and you're solo. So guys, scaling up to me isn't saying that I'm gonna hire a bunch of people. It's trying to figure out what you can do with what resources that you've been given and the talents that God's given you as well. We all got so many things that we can do in this business. Everybody here is wanting to do something different. Flip properties, subject to creative finance, portfolio, do development like my mentor, or however, right? You gotta figure out what works for you and then build off of that. Real estate is just a tool. From the real estate business spawned a virtual assistant company, spawned flips, portfolio, from wholesaling, all the way into what we're doing now with the data, we're even jumping into the e-com space, which I think is really awesome. So dropshipping is another thing that we're looking at. This business works. I'm telling you guys, if someone that's a two-time felon, who's done time, can fucking do this and figure this shit out, because it's really not crazy. One of the things that I learned when I was selling pot is that there's always a fucking source. There's always a source. If I were to buy weed from my man with the camera right here, I'd never get it for the price he paid it for. You know why? Because my man has to make money, right? The only way that I'm gonna get it is if I grow it from the ground. So I knew that if I could figure out how to monetize that and systemize it, and bring it from California all the way to Texas, and systemize that process, that I'd be able to create and yield more profits. All I'm saying, guys, is this is a testimony to how easy it can be. All I did was go to the source of the problems, right? So anytime somebody tells you something, know that there's a source to it, okay? I want y'all to take this information and run with it. Thank you guys so much.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Let me tell you guys something real quick, all right? If you're trying to take your business to the next level, you gotta motherfucking get yourself out of your comfort zone and network with the right people, man. You're not gonna get anywhere just sitting on your fucking ass at home, all right? Guys, whole motherfucking United States is open again. Take the opportunity. Last year shut us down. We got new blessings to fucking prosper in this brand new year, in this brand new era in business, all right? So remember that, guys. Get off your ass and let's get some fucking deals closed. See y'all later.